Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to bring you a couple of really cool Dark Knight pieces. So if you're a fan of that series, stick around. Here are Infinity Studios Heath Ledger Joker bust. And Infinity Studios Anne Hathaway Catwoman bust. Now I'm going to separate this out into two different videos so it's not so long, but I thought you guys would appreciate what these two look together. Now, as mentioned, these two are both made by Infinity Studios. If you're not familiar with Infinity Studios, they're known for making really hyper-real life-size bust. On a lot of their products, they do use silicone, real glass eyes, real hand-punched hair, and it definitely does give a super lifelike look. Now, they call these bust, but in reality, Infinity Studios typically does half torsos, meaning that you get pretty much the full upper part of the body, including the arms. Now, for this particular series, Dark Knight, they, so far as the date of this video, have 3 different busts. They also have a Bale Batman, which I have on order, but no idea when that will actually come. While I think these two look great together, I think, of course, the Bale Batman is going to pair really nicely with the Joker. And I think this Catwoman will pair really nicely with Batman, and ultimately that's who or how I'm going to set it up. Now, I have a feeling they're also probably going to come out with a Bane. Not positive, but it just would make sense. And I really would like to see also a Two-Face, but I think that may be a little too challenging to make it look movie accurate. I mean, in reality, I'm not even sure how much of what we saw in the movie was some CGI effect too. So I think that probably is too much of an ask. But if they do come out with a Bane down the road, I will definitely add that. So yeah, let's just dive into the review. So for this Anne Hathaway bust, let's just first kind of talk about the pose. Now, I can't remember if it was actually a movie theater poster or just some promotional shots, but you did see where she was pretty much in this same exact pose. But one big difference is that she had a pistol in her hand. So I'm not quite sure what happened there. I'm guessing that either I know no shipping to certain countries, even though it's a replica or fake pistol can be challenging. But I would argue their Harley Quinn bust also included a pistol, so whatever hoops they jumped through to get that through, you would think they would have been able to do the same thing with this Catwoman. Or it could have been just the licensor. Now, all these pieces that Infinity Studios are doing, they have to go through the hoops of getting them approved by the actual licensing company, and they could have said, hey, we don't want a gun in our stuff. So that very well, especially in today's age, could have happened. So it's unfortunate. I do think it would have looked a lot better if it had the pistol there, or if they gave you enough room where you can almost rig it, but they don't. So it's pretty much looking like she's, messing with her goggles there. All right, let's just kind of go from bottom to the top. So the base, as you can see, does have a pretty cool light up effect. Yeah, So it has kind of a nice glow that goes all the way around. Of course, if you had the lights all the way off, you definitely would see a nice glow in the room. They do have a nameplate. I know some people really do not like nameplates. I think this one looks pretty classy. I do appreciate the companies that allow you to remove it, and it look okay if you remove it, but this is permanent. And then as you can see, as you go around, they have Gotham, all the buildings of Gotham. Now they're painting it pretty simply, but I think that was the look that they were going for. Next, the body. It is all fully sculpted, but it is sculpted really nicely, painted really nicely. It does look real. Now the zipper is actually removable, and for whatever reason they went plastic. I do wish they would have went metal there. That wouldn't have cost them anything really to do. But it's a small gripe, and it's something really you won't notice. Now, I think they also captured Anne Hathaway's form really well. Now, while she is a great actor, you know, let's face it, she also got the part because she's built for it. So I think they did an excellent job sculpting, you know, what her body looked like in the movie. Now, right now, I have the goggles on. Maybe at the end of the video, I'll take it off so you can kind of see it, what it looks like without the goggles. But yeah, we'll just kind of dive into the face here. And first, let's kind of go over the negatives now. Now, I will say that for Infinity Studios and Queen Studios, I kind of hold them at the very highest regard. So it may sound like a little bit of nitpicking, and you know, it is a little bit of nitpicking, but when you're paying this much money for the bust, and I've seen them really deliver on other products, you know, I do want to point out any particular you know, issues that I might see, just so that you guys are aware. So I guess my first complaint is, while the lips look decent, I mean, I can tell that they're not real. And I have a Wonder Woman Queen Studios bust, and I don't know if it's because you can see some detail there. So I'm guessing it's more the paint work, but it's definitely got a realer effect on that Queen Studios Wonder Woman. Not that this looks bad, but I'm just pointing it out. They could have done better. And my other gripe is the face is almost too clean. Now, I realize, you know, she's a woman that's got makeup on and all that. But typically with these silicone busts, when you get really close into the detail, you can see a lot of that detail. And I think this one looks just a little too clean. I mean, you can see that they gave her a few different freckles, and you can see a little bit of detail in there. And I think maybe it's partly the paint job. Maybe it could have had a little bit of a, I don't know if a warmer effect is the right word, but it's just a little too clean for my liking, at least. But really, those are the only two complaints. And maybe let me look at a couple other busts. I mean, that one's painted, but when you go into this, you can just see, you know, the little extra detail that you should see in the skin when you get up that close. And for me, it takes away a little bit of the lifelike. Other than that, though, I think it does look really good. I think the eyes look fantastic. Now, someone else was checking this out. They thought maybe the whites of the eyes were a little too dark. Now, I do like on other eyeballs that I see that are not done well, typically they're way too white. So I definitely would rather have eyes that have a little bit of off-white to them. But I can see what the person was saying. These are probably more off-white than I typically see. And I'd probably have to study some pictures to see if her eyes do look a little bit darker there. The eyelash work, done really well. The hand-punched hair, it is excellent. I'll just kind of turn this around so you can kind of see from the back side. Yeah, I mean, the hair is definitely real. It's thick, nicely done. So it may sound like I'm nitpicking some, and I am a little bit, but while I think it's really, really well done, there is some room for improvement. Now, as far as the sculpt itself, it looks really, really good. I mean, it's probably one of the closest that I've seen getting to 100%. It's definitely Anne Hathaway. So let me go ahead and take off the goggles so you guys can see what it looks like with that. Well, I think the majority of the collectors are going to display this with the, the cat mask goggles on. This is what it would look like if you have the goggles off. And as mentioned, Infinity Studios did do a really good sculpt of Anne Hathaway. If you want to get a closer look of the goggles, most people are going to kind of display it this way. It kind of gives a little bit of a cat ears effect. The goggles themselves, they're okay. I wouldn't say they're high quality by any means, but they serve their purpose. And then if you wanted to, you can slide these down and then have it where, the goggles are down. But anyway, you guys got any questions, comments? Let me know what you think. Just throw it down in the comments section. Hey guys, I appreciate you watching another video. I'm a huge fan of home theater and these movie replica props. I'm going to put out a couple of videos each week in those areas. And if you're a huge fan like I am, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video.